No matter what we face, we must face the moment of truth, baby.
And we're back.
Oh my God.
Another episode of the StereoBros Podcast. It's your boy, P&L, pistachio, or pumpkin spice and lattes, or Patagonia. Who else we got in the building?
Greetings, guys. It's Headship Suit. It's been a while.
So good.
It's been a while. We love it here, though.
Hi, everybody. It's JazzE.
And we is here in our home studio. I've renamed it the Black Room Studios at Calitoville.
How you gonna rename the man's studio?
Easy. You just say the Black Room Studios at Calitoville. So here we are.
This is not even Calitoville.
It's not. No one knows what that is.
You're right. We haven't annexed it yet.
So, now you're a colonizer. Okay.
Oh.
Whoa.
Heard you.
Ooh.
You sound anti-Calito-ish. All I'm trying to do is, I just want a homeland for myself.
A homeland for
I'm
yourself?
trying to get a homeland.
I'll just build it on top of stuff that's already built. How about that? Right? Like,
if I do that and I need a homeland and you don't want me to do that, then now you're anti-Calitoist.
per your standards, I don't think. Like,
Per NATO and per... Anyway, we out here. Calm, sunny day in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And we're just, shooting the shit, chatting about stuff we chat about. And one of the things that came up is all these recent Supreme Court cases that have been decided, mostly 6-3, because Trump put 3 justices into lifetime appointments, and they're now doing exactly what they wanted to do, right? It shouldn't be a surprise that they are peeling back carbon emissions regulations. It shouldn't be a surprise that they are now, some might say saving black babies. Others are saying trying to police women's bodies. They also invalidated those really aggressive New York gun laws. So there's a lot there that we got to kind of unpack. And I want to start with the one that is the most near and dear to me, New York gun laws.
Now you can get a gun. You've been saying you wanted one.
We on camera. What you trying to do?
Oh, my bad.
Oh,
My bad. You wanted to shoot one. You were saying you wanted to go to the gun range and shoot one. That's what you said.
legally.
Right? Legally.
All guns mentioned or used in this are props and are not part of any kind of actual criminal activity. Disclaimer. But, I mean, I've been stacking my coins, so now I can go and get...
Isn't this what we tell the young boys not to do? Show their money?
I mean, that's the young boys, but, when you out here getting it and you paying your taxes, you know what I mean? You can show a little something, man. Anywho.
I cannot.
I don't know who started that ignorant ass trend, but...
I think a lot of people are going to go out and get guns.
So here's the thing.
Several.
The part of the law that was invalidated, this is a very important thing that I need people in New York City to understand, more so than New York State. The gun law in New York State since like the 1920s or something like that, probably sooner than that, probably earlier than that rather, said that in order to get a concealed carry permit, you had to show proper cause. Mm-hmm. That was defined in New York City to be business owner, security, you carrying money around. So it limited your ability to have a concealed carry permit. Mm-hmm. Now, the Supreme Court has said, well, that proper cause showing is unconstitutional because if you can clear a background check and you can clear a mental health check, why can they still add on additional subjective constraints or barriers from you getting a license? Because the
You
issue
might live in an apartment with 5 other people, 3 of them also being unstable.
Yeah.
Like,
now here's the thing though. This is why I partially agree with this, because the licensing structure in New York City is through the NYPD. And there have been past scandals where new people and were able to get permits, and law-abiding citizens could not. So that's why I think forcing the city and the state to kind of retool the permit regulations and the permit process, I'm all for retooling it. This doesn't mean that now everybody can walk around with a gun. And it doesn't mean that just because you have a permit, you can shoot. Because guess what? New York State doesn't have self-defense. It's imperfect self-defense. You have a duty to retreat first. This ain't Florida. So you can't be out here shooting down Hawthorne or shooting down Nostrand or shooting down Glenwood just because someone stepped on your Puma. It's not that. So that's why I think it's partially right. And I think that the city and the state are going to respond and say, well, you can't have a gun at brunch.
They've already responded, and they've given several instances. You can't on public property, on a church, on a school, and like a million iterations of where they're not allowed. But so are you saying that you would trust the process more if it was out of the hands of the NYPD, let's say, with a new like governmental arm governing the licenses?
NYPD is phenomenal. They're doing a great job at licensing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They're doing a great job at licensing. But what I'm saying is that I think now when you take out the proper cause showing, it's less subjective, right? And there's still an interview process. There's still things you have to go through in order to get it. So that's why I think by taking out some of the subjectivity, I think it'll actually make the job of the NYPD easier in terms of licensing, not in terms of policing this motherfucker,
right?
But in terms of the licensing. Now,
but the more guns, the more shootings.
I mean, but here's the thing: felons still won't.
Is that not what follows?
If you got a felony, you still won't be able to get a gun. I'm not saying that everybody should have a gun, and I'm not saying that it's all the way right. That's why I said partially, because I think if you're a homeowner and you want a firearm for the house, that shouldn't be hard to get as a homeowner. And I think right now, even for homeowners, people are waiting over a year, I've heard, in order to get a permit to have a firearm in your house. Versus if you go 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away, or even to, Westchester or Long Island, you can go get a shotgun from Walmart same day, right? It doesn't seem equitable that homeowners in the city, if you don't work for corrections or, certain places, you can't get a gun in your home. That's why I separate home versus concealed carry. I'm not for everybody having a concealed carry permit because I know what comes with that.
Come on, we take the train all the time. Get out of here! I don't need these crazies with guns.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not into it.
The A train is already crazy, as is the 3 train.
Been.
As is that 6 train.
Been.
Shout out to anybody taking the 6 train in the Bronx. I pray for you every day.
You want some scared dudes on the train when some, Showtime dudes come out.
Showtime.
And popping out and people get scared. Like,
I haven't seen Showtime on the train since I've been here.
But here's what's going to happen, right? Somebody's going to, unfortunately, have a gun and they're going to be Charles Bronson, do too much, and then they're going to get locked up because, again, in New York State, we don't have self-defense.
Yeah.
Well, pardon me. It's imperfect self-defense.
Yeah. So
you still cannot be an aggressor in New York State with a deadly weapon.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a knife, a baton. I'm gonna say something stupid, but I'm gonna table that one. An axe, a machete, right? Like, you can't be an aggressor with any of those things. And even if somebody breaks into your house, you can't chase them down the street. Like, once they're fleeing, now you're the aggressor.
Yeah.
Again, this is not Florida, so that's why I think somebody's gonna slip up and be an aggressor, and then
does it count if you're like shooting as you run away?
That could be reckless endangerment.
I mean, it is though.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just not how you shoot.
When they changed the gun laws before, they needed a scapegoat. That scapegoat became Plaxico Burress. Right?
Plaxico Burress.
So this time around, the gun law changed again. The first person that slip up, famous or not, is gonna get jammed up. Because when they changed the gun laws in the city before, they was hitting everybody with that Lil Wayne, Plaxico, Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And they was jamming everybody up.
Yeah.
To teach people a lesson.
Yeah.
Same thing again. Okay, the gun laws people will say are laxer, but if you make that mistake of running around like you Rambo, you will be somewhere up in the mountains getting counted.
I for the sake of equity, in terms of home ownership, I can understand the relaxing of the laws. Because it's almost like, New York City, a city like New York too, everyone has their hands tied, but everyone around them got, the ability to go get a gun at Walmart. Like, it's almost like tying my hands and sending me into a fight. So I can understand that for the sake of equity. I think what makes it a bit challenging is all of the other things that are happening in New York that are literally adding to the collective stress and our inability as a collective to kind of like, like manage our frustration. You know what I mean? And if you have, this person also has access to a weapon in real time, we can only imagine what we might see, but it might look a lot like what we've been seeing in other parts of the country and things like that.
Like you're saying, more guns, dumber people.
Yeah.
You're taking money away from the educational system and not educating people.
That's what private school's for, JazzE.
People can't afford private school. I got a public school education and made it to where I am. And in the 80s and 90s,
your kids are going to private school.
Stop it,
JazzE.
Let them know.
God willing, they will be. But I'm just saying, people are entitled to an equitable education, especially with the taxes that are being paid here. And I think this is a recipe for disaster where you're giving more people guns and then not educating the young people that are coming up. That makes no sense.
That literally that's been like the New York City way though. From where I've been perched, right? It just kind of seems like let's address symptoms and not the origin of why people are sick in the first place. You know what I mean? Your systems are still overwhelmed. They're still overwhelmed. We've done nothing to address the actual problems here. But, wanting this freedom to carry a weapon, to protect yourself. What are you protecting yourself from? You're protecting yourself from people who are just as frustrated because they have no money. They have, you know what I mean? They might have lost a job and all the jab stuff. Like they're under severe if we don't start taking mental health seriously beyond just saying take mental health seriously, it's nuts. Like this, it's somewhat tangent, but like I sat in kind of like a come to Jesus forum with another department in the city, right? And they're talking about relieving stress for, students, for this, whatever. And at the end, everyone's doing all of the placating, and I personally can't stomach doing that anymore. Y'all know
what does placating mean for those that don't
just
know?
Just kind of like trying to satisfy you, being a pacifist. Oh, I didn't help by giving another word.
It's so good.
But you can think so. Like I felt like at the end, I was just like, okay, listen, if we're serious about change that's actually going to result in something positive, then you need to look at implementing this change structurally, right? What in your physical environment needs to change? What operationally needs to change? What about the people operating in your operational system needs to change? Does their level of education needs to change? Is their support system in place? What can you do tangibly at these levels so that you can actually get here? The truth is, you don't want to get there because if the problem continues to persist, you always got something to treat. You know what I mean? That's how we've made our money. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of the system, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, things have to stay sick so that we can keep throwing fake money at it and people can siphon that money to go do other things that don't serve.
Not all money is fake.
First of all, if you don't hold it to your ear, it's not real. So...
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, these niggas over here mad. They over here mad and shit, man. Talking about education access.
Talking about education access.
All right, later. All right,
no, but seriously, when we look at this gun situation, right, there are other things you can do to make sure that they're going to be responsible and knowledgeable gun carriers in this city.
They won't.
They're not going to do it. It's just going to give another problem that then we can focus our attention on, throw money at, money that will not all go there.
Give more money to the police.
You know what I'm saying?
There are more guns on the street. We need more police.
And that's why I think I think there's going to be a spike in incarcerations because people are going to start.
They need that
though.
They need that. They low on labor.
Exactly.
They low on labor.
Let's stick it. It's disgusting to me. Like there's just so many ways that like if you're really trying to solve a problem, bro, we got this bin money floating around to do this work. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of like I just don't get I don't know. Personally, it's exhaustive, so I try not to like put too much energy into it. But I understand making it legal for folks in the city to protect their homes. I understand that. Our last episode, we talked a little bit about guns, and I said, I've never been a pro-gun type of person, but I also am not. I also keep my head on a swivel. So if it's looking nuts, then you gotta kind of make sure you can take care of yourself. So I'm with that, But
I picked you up on the way here, and you look like you was with the shits.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she's all right. She on point. Back to the car.
Listen, you can take the girl out of Flatbush, but you can't take the Flatbush out of the girl. So it does feel like a bit of a recipe for disaster. The mayor, I don't know, baby. I can't call it. That's no me. Okay, that's no me. I don't know. I can't call it.
You just stand away and let my officers do their jobs or get a better phone.
We should have known something was crazy at the inauguration. We should have known.
He's nuts.
But we said this. We said this.
He is exceeding the expectations of disaster that I had for him.
Hey, French Montana, pass me the truffle fries.
A fool. But whatever.
Oh, man. The next one, and I'm going to defer to you, lovely ladies, on this one, because I know abortion is probably something that is probably much more, I don't want to say impactful, right? Mm-hmm. Because I've been through abortions as the guy that was told about. Hear me out.
Not us having admissions about abortion.
JazzE was
Long time ago.
What?
I was young and I thought I had a kid on the way.
Yes,
and
we love to hear these testimonies, young king. Thank you.
I got a late text saying
Sam
she
said
was.
what happened?
I got a late text saying she was late text because we used that late text, Lloyd Banks' voice, and I was stressing, and my friends laughed at me, and I was stressing like, so what are you gonna do? She's like, I don't know. So I'm pacing around. I'm like, damn, well, I guess I can figure out life and be a father and get a city job, whatever. And
JazzE is not holding it down.
She's laughing at me.
She's laughing
at
my
pain,
you.
right? Damn. Y'all see this? Laughing at my pain and shit, man.
She was like, I'm gonna laugh.
Continue.
I think she's laughing because she also knows how I was in my young teenage years. Well, actually, no, this is more like my latter teenage years. But anyway, and then I get a call back, and the girl's just like, I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm not pregnant anymore.
So she didn't ask you?
Nah, she just made a decision involving, I guess, a part of my body.
Yeah.
Without me.
Yeah.
Did you have thoughts about that?
Like up until I was probably about, let me see, maybe for like a year or two, mm-hmm. I used to wonder. Mm-hmm. And then I found Remy Martin Grand Cru, and I stopped wondering.
Help me, Jesus. Help.
But I've had situations where I felt like my life could have been over, but for using, it's not contraception, I guess after contraception,
Plan B?
Yeah. Thank you. But I also realized that it was my own reckless behavior that put me in that situation to begin with. So the only other thing I'm going to say is that with respect to abortion, my stance is I will never fault a woman who is having a medical emergency, mm-hmm. whether it's an ectopic pregnancy, miscarriage, anything else, from having an abortion. I will never, ever fault that. Mm-hmm. I think outside of that, you have to understand the origins of Planned Parenthood and put that into your analysis of abortion in our communities in order to have a full opinion. And even if you understand it...
Not the man who making how much he make. That was about to be a bus driver talking about black people in Planned Parenthood. Continue.
JazzE said,
whoa.
JazzE said you had a date for the civil test, and
I feel like she hit me like I'm Rolly Romero and she Tank Davis.
But didn't you benefit from a non-medical emergency abortion?
I mean,
that's what I'm trying to
alternative
understand.
facts. But all I'm saying is I want people to have the full historical context when they're analyzing the case. The case is poorly written, right?
Yeah.
Because they basically are giving rights to a fetus versus empowering women. Mm-hmm. That's all I'll say, because that's literally where I'm going to stop, because I feel like it's more for women who actually have more skin in the game and more, uterus in the game to opine on, what this means and that kind of stuff. So I'll leave it to y'all to...
Well, I read an article by Jamel Hill.
Who's that?
Jamel Hill? From ESPN? Are you joking?
Oh, sports.
Yeah, sports. Jamel Hill. She writes now for The Atlantic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she wrote an article.
About sports.
About how she was a sports writer in college in a relationship that was not going anywhere. And she made a decision. I think she was out of college. She was probably working
Made
in
a
her
decision
20s.
without the guys.
No, she just, well, I don't know. I don't know if she said I can't remember. I don't remember that part, if she asked him or not. But she made a decision herself, her body, that she was not going to, have the child. Not because she was having an ectopic pregnancy, not because she thought she was a miscarriage, not because she couldn't financially take care of a child, because she did not see herself raising a child with this person long term. And she had other dreams and aspirations for her career, and she made a decision to have an abortion. Relatable.
Right.
My thought.
You worked at ESPN?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, so I take a few different perspectives on this, right? As per usual, you guys know me.
Of course,
right?
This is why you're here.
There we go.
So I feel like, there's this spiritualist that I recently got into, Nicole Ray, who had
The
like
singer?
No, she's not a singer, but she had this 2-hour. She wrote an essay and then did a 2-hour presentation on her essay and why she. Her essay, I don't want to misquote the title, but she essentially was saying how the new clinical abortion laws are forcing Black women to deal with karma, right? They're forcing us to deal with our karmic relationship as it relates to abortion. And so speaking from a bit more of a higher perspective, right? There is, when we talk karma, when that talk of karma is essentially just saying you gotta take accountability for your decisions. You know what I mean? And it's you can tell someone that without judgment of the decision they made or how they live in their life, but you have to require people to be sober on what's leading them to these decisions, right? So, I've held a space for women who have had abortions, miscarriages, and stillbirths for a little bit. And I've met a range of women who are 60-something, wanted the baby at 16, mother made them do it. You know what I'm saying? And now they have scars. There are people who, were trying to have children, but the husband is beating them. And they do not want to have this baby.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
The husband's beating her.
Yep.
And still trying to have a kid.
Yes. Abuse is disgusting.
That's wild.
Abuse is disgusting. So, I mean, there are women who, they're pregnant, but this environment is not safe and they cannot put a baby in that environment. But now they're dealing with the guilt, right? And when we speak karmically, it's like, what I've always wanted people to know is that, like, abortion in particular is not a decision that people take on lightly. And those that take it on and they have 5, 6, 7, 8, these are people that might need some, extra work around. They might need some of this regulation, you know what I mean? Because something has to compel them to take a look at their behavior that is leading to them being there. However, I think that, often when we get into the talk about abortion, there's a lot of judgment on it. And the people who get the judgment aren't the people who are actually utilizing abortion services the most, right? And maybe we can pin a fact about those numbers under this video, but like
it'll be right here.
It'll be right here.
Fact.
Linked in the bio, but or in the whatever in the comment section. But karmically speaking, I think this is good. I think this is good because it's some of the behaviors that are leading women to that environment. I don't know if you've ever been to an abortion clinic, but it's sterile. You know what I'm saying? It's a very cold place too, and everyone knows what they're doing there, but like there's no talk about it. It's not a sensitive environment. Nobody's holding your hand. Like it's none of that. You know what I'm saying? So essentially women go there numb. They get things done. They leave numb. And then depending on how committed they are to their own self-work afterwards, they stay numb. You know what I mean? And some of them that stay numb repeat that shit over and over and over again. So from a higher perspective, I'm like, I can appreciate this because I feel like we need something that's going to force people to take a look at how the fuck they're living so that they don't end up here again for their sake, for the kids' sake, for whomever's sake.
No more hot girl summers, you know?
No,
exactly.
Listen, hot girl summer meant a lot for a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But I'm more interested in seeing people be well. You know what I'm saying? And like, and some of the things that lead to repeated, visits to that kind of procedure are not behaviors that are in alignment with someone who is well. So karmically speaking, I feel like this might be a little bit, well in the sense like your esteem.
No. Sorry, I was laughing because I thought of a movie quote, but it might be inappropriate to say, so I'm not going to say it.
Thank you very much for having the awareness.
I'm getting better, see?
Karmically speaking, I'm just like, this might actually work for our good. Because nothing happens to us, right? They happen for us. So I feel like this might be an opportunity for you to just not lay with anybody that you got questions about, Now, when it comes to just this world that we're living in, right? The obsession with the ownership over women's bodies is also something that it's not an or thing. It's an and thing, right? And it's like there are other ways, like I said before, there's systems that we can do things to treat this stuff holistically. We choose not to because there are profit margins associated with different stuff. And I just feel like legally, it's like a war on a woman's body now.
You got a lawyer over here.
I mean, is it? Maybe I should have went to law school, but like I feel like
never too late.
We'll see. I just feel like legally, it's undeniable that someone somewhere does not think a fully formed woman can make a decision over her own body. And my favorite word is sovereignty. Every human being has the right to decide what's going to go in their body, what's not going to go in their body, what's going to happen to it. Can they put tattoos on it? It's your right. So for a law to be like, hey, you can't, to me, doesn't make any sense. You can't govern my person. You know what I'm saying? I decide what happens with my person. And so on that front, I feel like it's bogus, right? Like you have people who are conservative Christians, because that's the primary, religious backing that's kind of backing this move,
Taliban.
that are hypocritical in nature because these people were in uproar when it came time for a vaccine, right? Because you couldn't force anyone to take a vaccine, but you can force a woman to carry a baby, which doesn't make any sense because even legally, she can't even collect what do you call that? Child support while this baby's in utero. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't even, like, it's weird. It's like the baby's not really even.
Those that don't know, can you tell them what in utero means?
In utero means that as long as the baby has not physically been born into the world, it's in utero. It's in her belly, right? And so you cannot legally collect any kind of financial support for this person who now has rights in your belly, but to terminate it is illegal. It's just, it's like, again, it sticks a woman in a very weird position, right? Where she has to kind of carry the water by herself. And so it doesn't escape me, that all the isms that we don't like are at play in this one, but it just is. So legally it's whack to see. But I think that it can work for us if we take the right perspective on it.
I think that's a great optimistic way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that these white women need to be in the streets.
It's their fault.
Black people
50%.
are tired of fixing your shit.
Okay.
We're tired.
Are you speaking into the mic, JazzE?
We're tired.
Shout out to all the white women that are friends of the show.
I'm just saying, we don't have time to be in the streets rioting.
Yeah.
Y'all need to, why are there no riots? Why are there no riots over your rights?
To be clear, we're not calling for riots.
Right.
They said they was going to riot.
Nobody's going to. 53% of white women voted for Trump in the first place. More than half. We're not fighting the same. We're not even in agreement. You know what I'm saying? Like with how women's rights should look, because some women are fighting for some things. Some women are fighting for other things. Some women are fighting for true liberation. Some women are fighting for true families. Others are fighting for political power. Others are fighting for stature. You know what I mean? Like we're not in it.
BBLs.
Sure.
BBLs are on their way out. Apparently
Sure.
The trend is
dying.
leaving. It's dying. That's what
dying
word,
or dying?
Word on the street.
Word on the street is
dying. Wait, the trend is to die, or the
trend
is to not get a BBL.
Oh,
yes,
natural
bodies are coming back.
Chicks with small butts just want to die? Like
no.
What butts matter?
Coi Leray is championing for them right now.
Of course, you go to the most extreme example.
Yeah, but
come on.
You were saying, JazzE, you know what?
Yeah, no, I mean, there needs to be a plan because, sovereignty, power over your own body is paramount.
Yeah.
Number one,
for
above
sure.
anything. And, I don't like the way the court is going and how these, I'm just going to say it, Christian, and me identifying as a Christian, but I don't believe in extremism and the power of people doing what they want, praying to whatever God they want. Y'all started this country allegedly and tried to separate church and state. So I don't know how we're moving backwards.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really clear on it, and it really is scary. I mean, people talk, Handmaid's Tale. I was thinking that. I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale.
Great show.
I was like, oh, this shit can happen.
Girl,
Like,
5 minutes into episode 1, I was like, yeah, my spirit don't agree.
I'm actually gonna watch
Don't
that.
agree.
I'm actually gonna watch it tonight, but
I stopped watching.
To buttress what you're saying, the real culprit here isn't even Trump.
No.
It's the Democratic Party for not pushing Merrick Garland in when he had a chance to, for not forcing Ruth Bader Ginsburg to retire, because that's 2 judges right there that would have kept them in the majority. And then 3, Joe Biden has been in power for... Joe Byron been in power how long now? Why isn't the court packed? If it was me and I was president of the free world right now...
P&L for president.
Not,
P&L for
Pistachio for everyone.
You get a latte. You get a latte. You get a latte. But the first thing I would do after I've, eaten at Nando's is I'm packing the court. Okay, right now it's a 6-3. How about this? I'm adding 6 judges.
Yeah, but then you get, it has been done before, but, not packing the court, but like changing of justices. But also, you don't want to set a precedent for these Neanderthals on the other side. So I see the reason for caution, but they need to stop being pussies.
You pack the court, and then you say, oh, by the way, in the future, you can't pack the court. Because that's what they did.
Oh.
They got Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh wasn't going to hit the vote. They lowered the requirement for him, and then changed it back. So that's what I would do. I would do what GOP does. Whatever the fuck I want to do.
Although Merrick Garland in the Supreme Court, what was he going to do? Because he ain't doing nothing over there at the DOJ.
He is not like...
Okay, JazzE, read them for filth today.
He's not DOJing.
He's
but
not
the other
DOJing.
thing, too, is Biden had control of Congress. He's losing that shit soon. I would have codified Roe v. Wade if I felt that strongly about it. I would have made it like actual law, because all the Supreme Court can do is interpret the law. They can't make the law. Congress can make the law. So why would you not make a law that says abortion's illit? He had opportunity to do it, and he didn't do it.
That's because
the same way he has not given hardworking Americans like myself student loan reprieve.
Oh, okay, my God. And he ran on that. I told you Joe wasn't finna do...
You did tell us.
Listen, I'm saying, like,
Bernie. I'm a Bernie bro. I'm a Bernie bro for a reason.
I think a lot of us are Bernie folks, you know. But like and this is lately, I've had to really do my best to not scream "I told you so" to a bunch of people because I'm like, these niggas are not interested in actually helping you.
No,
they are not.
They're interested in keeping the status quo.
Yes,
because and then also like when you think about like labor, and they keep talking about labor shortage. Where are the people? Like I don't understand. Like I
can go to Home Depot right now and get labor if I want to. There's no shortage of labor.
Like I don't understand why they keep bringing that up. Like I think that you know, again, it's the centrist Democrats that have the most influence, that have the most power to lobby, and they like it right where it is.
Yeah.
They're not too mad about abortion because probably some of them motherfuckers believe it.
Yeah.
Women
they
not
got
having
Stockholm
the right.
syndrome too, because even Byron just nominated a federal judge of Kentucky, home state of McConnell, that McConnell handpicked.
They are in bed together.
He's an aisle crosser, meaning he's always been willing to compromise. That was the platform he ran on. And that's been his career. Even when he was a senator, he was known for compromises. And I think to be bipartisan, yes, on the big things, but it'll be great to have a bipartisan anti-lynching bill.
Yeah, right?
Never.
That's
not crossing the aisle to let a place like Kentucky become further McConnellized.
Yeah. There's a something that's coming to mind right now. There's a book that I reference a lot. It's super huge. It's called The Great Cosmic Mother. And it's
Zane
from
book?
the 70s. It is not a Zane book.
What's wrong with a Zane book?
It is not a Zane book.
What's wrong with a Zane book? Listen, I read every Donald Goins book. So
listen, but she mentioned
we're cool.
Get out of here. She mentioned there's a chapter. There's a chapter in there that talks about legal language in patriarchy, right? Yeah, and how the assault on matriarchal culture persists through legalese. Yeah. And how even at the
property.
Yeah, even at the social level, you know, when we want to be nice nasty, right? Or like, you know, kind of like nice nasty is the best way that I can explain it. You will use legalese, you know what I mean? Where you get what I'm saying? You'll find loopholes in order to subject someone, but with a smile. And so patriarchy thrives in this legalese setting.
Fake rules.
Right.
They're ruled, they're fake.
Right.
We all made them.
Right.
The people before us made them.
And
They're
she talked about, well, it's two authors actually, and we'll also pin that. They talk about how at the founding of this nation, it was founded not by Christians. It was founded by people who were trying to run away from puritanical rule in London, right? And so it's crazy how they wrote all these laws for freedom of all of these things. And then somehow still, through this legalese, we have brought it right back to this place where people are being subjugated and violated by the law, which is heavily influenced by religion. There's no reason why we should be talking right now about praying in schools if at the top of the inception of this country, it was to keep a separation because we was running from the Puritans and Quaker folk. You know what I mean? That's where all solitary confinement and shit comes from. You know what I'm saying? So we built this nation to fight that, and then Christian extremism, you know, kind of comes in, and through this avenue that patriarchy gives us in legal language is doing it all over again.
I didn't even remember about that Coach praying case, but that's another one where, I mean, we could spend the rest of the afternoon talking about this, but I think
it's sad. It's like very bleak to think about, like, okay, this is just the beginning of their rulings. Like, they're coming back next session to obliterate everything.
Yeah, I think people need to really understand what's at stake and focus in on these local elections, because even to the extent that there's federal mandates on certain things, you can still at the local level slice out a certain amount of protection from that kind of stuff, right? So even with like the gun laws, right? Even if they say the laws as written were invalidated, it goes back to the Second Circuit, which is our federal appellate court in New York, and then they have to then take the original case and decide on it. But then at the local level, okay, let's say concealed carry permits are easier to get. No, you can't say that you can't possess one on Manhattan, but you can say that you can't possess them in all these different places and still have a limiting factor. But this again goes back to the lack of civic engagement in our community and it being so reactionary. Because, you know, we can talk about the governor's race, right? And
turnout was bad.
The turnout was awful, right? Like, there's no reason why Jumaane...
I voted for Jumaane.
I did too. Shout out to Jumaane. And, you know, when I went to go vote, there was a bunch of people in the corner trying to peddle literature about, you know, random vagabonds. But, you know, afterwards, when I spoke to my wife and made sure that she voted who she's supposed to vote for. Kidding.
More autonomy over women.
Hey, everyone else does it.
It's the freedom for me.
Everyone else does it. I've been voting and I walk out and I see different people from different backgrounds confirming that their wife voted for who they were supposed to.
I've seen it in like Borough Park and like they don't even hide. They be like, vote here, but color this in.
I don't want to target anybody particular, but yes.
But yes, okay.
But it's sad because there's names on because I'm outside, not outside on the corner.
Jadakiss?
No, not the kind of side. I'm outside at like Lips and at Zan Me.
Period.
Kind of outside.
Period.
But it's just like, how are we not hearing about candidates until we get to the polls?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that shit is baffling to me.
Yeah.
It can't be a money thing because there should be, as I understand in the city, you do get a certain amount of like fund matching when you're running for certain offices. So it shouldn't be that you find out about candidates at the polls.
Yeah.
And what they do at the polls is have people outside with their shit, and then they create like this retrograde bias, which is like, okay, the last thing I saw was that name, so when I go in there, that's what I'm gonna vote for.
Yep.
Right? And those are the people with a couple of dollars to actually be able to do that. But the governor's race, Giuliani Jr. actually almost got the Republican nod. And the guy who did get it, I think it might have been Swosey. Was it Swosey?
He was on a Democrat.
Astorino? Damn, I can't remember who, like, Lee. Anyway, whoever got it is basically talking like he's like the father of a handmaid. Like, he's just like, yeah, we're going to roll back bail reform and we're going to make sure of this and we're going to make sure of that. And he actually has, in the words of George Pataki, he said this reminds Pataki of when he beat Cuomo's father back in like 94 because the Democratic Party's kind of all over the place. There's a lot of wild shit going on, coming off scandal, and the GOP arm is strong enough statewide to where they might have a shot at winning because people don't love Hoku like that.
We don't know where this bitch came from.
Buffalo. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that she won by so much because she hasn't
people
really done much.
Yeah,
so it's just
people didn't show up.
Off of knowing she's the current one and not knowing the other people, I guess.
People didn't show up. And that's what makes me so furious at times is because our community complains about so much shit. We said it's probably at least 10 episodes now. But it's just like, nah, I ain't voting because it's a broken system. If you're going to say that, cool. Then what are you doing to fix it? Right? If you're saying that you're not going to vote federally, I can almost agree with that. But then locally, why would you not get an assemblyman or woman or councilman or woman in place that can say, you know what? I'm going to go to Albany and I'm going to get 80 grand for this block to do some cool shit or some gun prevention shit or some STEM program. They can literally get you a check, put it in your hand, and you can use that check to impact your community much more readily than the president could. So why would you not even at the
local level,
at the state level vote for
But I will say it's also a knowledge thing. I don't think people know when these things, if you're not tapped in locally to your thing, when you go on Twitter, they're talking about Biden and they talking about midterms. You probably know about some race in another state before you know about the people governing your 5 blocks. Like it's that's just the way.
Like, so I feel like there's some misconceptions about what local politics actually looks like. Sometimes it's a lot more vicious than it is at the federal level. You know what I mean? It's also a boys club, girls club too. Like, there's some people who have run for office that, whether in any of the boroughs, that have great ideas, like great things that they want to do. But the reality situation is that they are not aligned with people who have held power for a long time. And when you're not, you don't get the money. You don't get the sponsorship. You don't get the backing. No one will hear about you. There are other ways also that they suppress people who are putting out marketing.
We know about that, yeah.
It's nasty. You know what I'm saying? And so it just can get very disgusting. And if someone can battle through all of that and then make it to the promised land where they get, the position, they now have another slew of things they have to fight against. There are people who make it their business to make this person's time terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not that people shouldn't, but I think what's going to help going forward is to just be sober about what we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? I think just like vote or die, where people are like, you got to get out and vote. Sometimes we say things because, that's, we want to believe that at some level we can change the things. What I believe we're dealing with is a system that is also imploding on itself. This voting system, this way we've been governing, it's imploding. It's not working, which is why the candidates are actually looking like what the candidates are. Drizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't have much to offer. You know how much Jumaane had to go through? At different positions that he's had. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'll end here, but it doesn't always mean that the hands are clean on both sides either. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it is just a situation. I think that what we need to do, the better idea might be to just strengthen community in general. I think that block associations need to get more value. I think that, like, merchants associations need more value. Business improvement districts might need more value because that's the place where private and public money meet. And that's what's pushing your community, not these politicians. They're in the business of winning influence. That's what they're here to do. They're not and they'll leverage that influence to get you resources. That's their job. So once you get clear on what politics does, you know what I mean? You can now align yourself with where actual change might happen. So I've learned long time ago that, like, you got to stick to where the money go, because that's where the influence will be, So I think, for the sake of the survival of our communities, we need to amplify the voices of just your block association, of, the merchants, you know what I mean? Boys and Girl Scouts in your neighborhood. Like, don't undervalue those guys, because they actually do influence optics. Right? Because no politician wants to look like an asshole for not giving some of these community entities resources. And if they blew the whistle on some of the shit that was actually going on in the homes that they live in, on the blocks that they lived in, the people who have been running those districts for a while would have a lot of pie on their face. So I think for us, the best thing that we can do is reinvest in our communities at the super grassroots level. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, decide as a community who the fuck should be running your neighborhood. And then you talk to that person directly. Discretionary funding with, like, participatory budgets, that's all January, February, right? Like, and that's when you want to be inviting these people to your meetings and stuff like that, and letting them know this traffic light been out for 4 years. We've been in the dark on this corner for 2 years. The sanitation hasn't picked up over here. And whoever can actually give you the receipts or give you the things you're looking for, then you vote. We've been doing it backwards too. Have them produce something, you got till election day. If you don't produce it by election day, you don't get the vote. You know what I'm saying? You just don't get the vote.
But I don't even think on like a local level we know what people are doing unless they tell us.
Right.
So same problem with the Democratic
Party. The pushback on that is it's the information age, though. So
it is, but people are not taking advantage of it.
Right.
I know there's some people that are doing things and probably just don't know how to get the message out. Then there's people that's not doing shit and want to give the impression that They're doing everything. Like,
all them niggas are gonna come to a block party though.
True.
All them niggas are gonna come to a block party. So why not invest in the block association throwing the block party and disseminate the information? Have these people come out to the meetings. You know what I'm saying? That's where we need to go back to, because this other shit that we've built on the idea that all of this other stuff was running beautifully is not working.
No, I totally agree, and I need money and resources sent to Calitoville immediately. I need more restaurants, more coffee shops, more lattes, more herring patties.
Because there are young people doing it. You know, like there are, and not even just young people, I don't mean to be, you know, ageist. But like there are people at all levels
doing their thing.
You know what I'm saying? And like they deserve the support. You know, and
thank you, Chiose. Come see us here.
Please, we're waiting. We're waiting.
And I do think that there's also a certain amount of, pardon me for 1 second though. There's a certain amount of, in the information age, the point I was getting at is that your social media feed will be curated based on what you consume. So there's no excuse as to why we should not consume locally relevant political and community-based content, because it'll fill up our timeline. And I think we've been too willfully ignorant for too long as a community, as a people, fighting for status quo, and those that have enough knowledge are often fleeing. So I think I don't blame those that are fleeing.
That's facts of life.
Because I can understand the frustration from that too. It's just like, yo, I can try to build this shit up and not really reap the benefits, or I can just go off where people already get it. And I think, you know, people left behind need to understand that just because you're left behind is not the end of it. But you, in the same breath that you want the freedoms of having your baby father buy McDonald's for you and all your kids, you can take that same energy.
The segue king.
Great way. Great job.
Thank you. You can take that same energy and invest in $25 towards a candidate. But if you take that 25 and you know you and all your richettas in your building can take that 25 and turn it into 500, right? So there's that. Now, in terms of you baby mothers that feel like a man should take care of Tarquel, I know you haven't heard Tarquel in a long time. Tarquel and Company. We spoke about this episodes ago.
Tarquel and Co.
That was the first thing I thought about when I heard this story too.
Yeah,
I thought about you and that damn example.
Like, I think that the main issue I had with the story, I'm hearing now that it might have just been like funny viral content, which is a whole nother issue.
I'm sure it's happening somewhere though.
We spend too much time trying to go viral. This shit is stupid, but you're right. It's happening somewhere. But this thought that a man who's responsible is now responsible for the actions of an irresponsible man are trash. I've seen people say, I mean, for those who haven't seen the clip we're talking about, there was a clip where a woman said she was exposing her baby father because he brought processed McDonald's for only his child, and
I don't think she was exposing the McDonald's. It seemed like she was
no.
With the
You're right. She was trying to expose him for only feeding his kid as opposed to all 4 of her kids. And she says, you know, I didn't get my stamps yet. Why you only bringing food for 1 child? And he's like, well, then fine. Send the kid out and I'll feed the kid in the car. Well, no. She takes the food and throws it on the floor.
That didn't solve the things for anybody.
And he asks her, what about your other child's fathers? And she has no rebuttal for that, right? And I think in the comments, people are like, the right thing to do is to feed all the kids. And the people in the comments, I was a step kid and one step kid at everything and I had nothing. Who the fuck cares about any of that shit? Damn. Right? the point,
who the fuck cares?
The point I make is that as a community, not even as a community, as an adult, right? You are responsible for your fucking actions. And if you have kids with multiple men, you can argue that one was a fuckboy, you know, that one might have passed away, that one's incarcerated. At some point, if this next dude comes along and y'all don't work out and y'all have a kid and he's taking care of his kid, why does he owe you responsibility towards kids that are not his? And her thought was, when we were together, he did for all of them, and sometimes he comes over to sleep with me, and
she said all that?
She said all of that. in a follow-up video. And my thought...
he be coming by.
So, he's messy for doing that, but the entitlement in our community to people with actual sense, or like the entitlement to people's resources and time, is fucking crazy. And I heard this dumbass quote at work one time and it pissed me off. If you want something done, give it to a busy person. No, like...
What?
If you want something done, give it to somebody that's busy. That shit is mad stupid, right? But to sit there and argue that the right thing to do is to feed all the kids, fuck that, right? Like...
Let them starve.
It's not even let them starve, but she should have that same energy for her other children's fathers.
Wherever they may be.
Wherever they may be. So go get Bar Tim and whoever else that you chose to bust some cheeks open for and ask him for some McDonald's money.
Yo, he's going crazy. He's going crazy, Sam.
Yo.
He's going crazy.
Because she chose violence.
Is she the one choosing violence?
She slammed that bag on the floor like it was pain and agony. Like, she bust the bag open, spilled the drink, and it was like an adult-sized meal. I saw the fucking cheeseburger wrapper on the floor.
What was it?
It was probably like knowing... I don't know, son.
That's a great question.
No, I don't know, son,
I'm
personally. But
a quarter pounder.
he seemed like he cared enough to get... It might have been a McDouble with mac sauce.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
That's the after party.
He could have
special.
got 4 of those. I'm joking.
And the fry, it looked like there was also a dropped sweet and sour sauce. And you know trying to get extra sauces is pain in the agony too.
Y'all niggas is so
right?
dumb.
So the fact that this man knows how trash he is as a person, still pulled up to feed his kid, and you like, why'd you not do like that shit? The entitlement in our community stops. It ends today. The entitlement ends today.
The only thing that
not today. It ends when it's actually
airs
up on YouTube.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought might have been a little cruel is for the little kids to be at his McDonald's while the rest of his siblings are starving in the house.
Yeah.
So like, okay, come pick him up, take him to eat, and come back. It's still messed up. They know where
No, it's
he went.
not.
It's still messed up.
Talk where you came from. I'm full. You
I'm
niggas ain't eating, not my
From the
fucking problem.
perspective-
My daddy loves me. Fuck y'all.
But, you know, I've heard people talk about, like, being in situations like that and men having children with women that have multiple kids that can't take care of them, and then they take their child and raise them. Like, he has that option as well. If his child's mother is not able to provide care for all the kids, he has an option. I mean, clearly he's taking care of him as he should, but, like, maybe the next step might be to raise your child yourself so that they're not in that situation with the rest of the kids.
Exactly. And child support is not a subsidy. So if he isn't sending a check over there, it don't mean you get one of them Planet of the Apes wigs and nibs.
I don't know.
No.
Did a portal open? The portal open.
Today.
We're in a new timeline, right? Where's Doctor Strange?
It ends today.
Listen.
It ends today. Listen, women's out there, stop using kids as pawns. Stop using child support as a subsidy for your lifestyle. It ends today.
So just to reorient the conversation, we're talking about a McDonald's meal, right?
Here, you get McDonald's. Here. For all 4 of your kids.
But my thing is like, so here's some color behind this, right? One time I was having a conversation with my roommate about the hype around feeding people. Like, you know, a man comes to your house or something, you make a meal for him.
Hell yeah.
She's Southern, right? So her response was so simple and so quick. She was like, it's food. Why would you come to where I'm at and I not feed you? It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just hospitality. And so when she said that, I like in this conversation, I recall back to that moment because it's food. You know what I'm saying? It's if you're gonna feed this kid, right? And you didn't bring him a steak. You didn't bring, you know what I mean? You didn't bring him some cordon bleu meal. You brought him some McDonald's. I'm not judging him for not doing it for all 4, but I'm almost like, nigga, it's just McDonald's. Like
Maybe it's all he had in terms of bread.
Which is why the thing I don't agree with was the posting him on social media. You ain't shit. I don't agree with any of that. Wow. But I do think that there is I'm curious about his line of thinking. you know, bringing this singular meal to a place where just because the kids don't got nothing to do with this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna watch another kid eat, and at any level,
so
whether it's
that part.
at any level,
I get a fry. No,
no, you don't
fuck
want.
out of here.
My thing is
Call
like
your daddy.
food insecurity has like real implications at that at
Why
whatever
you getting
age.
so serious? Food insecurity.
That's what it is.
Come on.
That's what it
It's
is.
true. She said she wasn't getting food stamps, and she clearly
her stamps hadn't come yet, but she had her hair and fucking nails done.
How you know?
Because in the follow video, she had her hair and nails done.
In the follow-up video.
Which I'm assuming was shot within 24 hours of the first one.
Okay, it's a great assumption, but we don't know, right? So
I'll get the timestamps.
So I'm just saying, for me, I'm just thinking, okay, like if I'm gonna bring food over and there's four other kids or 3 other kids or whatever, maybe I don't get a singular McDonald's meal. Maybe I buy a pizza that these kids can split. It just wasn't, to me, it just wasn't, I personally, if
So
I
what
was
if the other kids bully his kid out of his food?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking
out
if
of-
that happens.
It's actually a bigger flex for him to bring food for all of them.
For all of them. That's what I don't
Don't get gaslit
understand.
to feed them.
Daddy not even.
Don't get
not daddy over
gaslit.
here feeding you. Like,
And then-
Don't get
You know what I'm
gaslit,
saying?
fellas. Don't get gaslit
So
to
I
feed up
kinda,
your kids. Don't get gaslit.
I kind of feel like, yo,
It's a flex.
just in the
That was
sense
a good one,
of,
Jazzy. That was a good one.
it is a flex though. Just in the sense of like, it's just food. You know what I'm saying? And you want to see this kid.
The gaslight is on strong. It's a big ass gaslight. I see it.
I think that he could have, you know, like, he could have made another move so that these other kids didn't have to watch this other kid.
It's like y'all like R. Kelly sometimes, but y'all don't. But even though Lil Man is not my son, I made him mine.
I mean, listen, but then at the same time, you know, like, it is, you are
That
right.
guy-
It is not.
Creative said worked up too.
It's not his
Mad vocal this episode because of
responsibility.
y'all.
It's not his responsibility. Period. Hey, Sam. Hey. So, although it is not his responsibility, because it is not, those are not his children. I just think it would have been a better move on the part of I don't know, like an adult. I don't know. I just
An
feel
adult.
like, I don't know. I just feel like there's other kids who have nothing to do with anybody's belief system that are going to sit there and watch this other kid eat food. And I just think that's a little strange, you know?
So not being facetious, but I've been in situations where like my kid had snacks and other kids didn't. And I saw the angst on the kid's face. And I honestly, no, I didn't laugh. If, say we all have kids and excuse me, we're somewhere and my kid backs out mad snacks as they usually do. And your kids don't have snacks.
Yeah.
my kids gonna always have snacks.
Period.
What you talking about?
You're right.
Period.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay.
High quality, high vibration.
You're right. But
She said my kids are always gonna have snacks. What happened?
I'll ask my kid, "Hey, do you want to share with Bar Tim?"
Yeah.
And if they say no, oh well.
Yeah.
But I don't force sharing because forced sharing makes your kids actually
Communist.
No. That's good. But it makes them get bullied because then they get used to like giving their shit up. Right? So I've also been places where there were strangers' kids and like the park, like we're in the park somewhere playing. And so it's like, oh, Dad, I want some applesauce. So like I give him the applesauce and he's, Dad, I want Pringles. Give him Pringles too. And then like another kid comes over, is like, can I have some too? And my first thought is, where is your parents?
Right.
And the parents like, oh, do you mind? I said, do I mind what? I'm like, do I mind what? Oh, actually, never mind. Because then it sounds crazy. Like, and I've been to places too.
This is the difference between men and women. Because
No.
as a woman,
No,
I would have been
listen.
like, oh, it's okay.
Nah. Listen, you're right, 100%. Because my older cousin, shout out to the big bro. I never forget. I was at a barbecue at his house. Family's very different. I think in a lot of ways they are. I'm the nice guy in my family. I shit you not.
Right, Sam? Sam's like, wait.
So in this apartment complex, they had like this nice courtyard, and everybody had like they own grills out, grilling. So people cooking, and my cousin got the grill going. You know, we drinking, chilling. Yo, some kid comes over, and he's like, "Can I have a hot dog?" And my cousin's like, so first his wife heard it. And she's like, okay, sure. And then my cousin's like, what happened? Oh, the little boy went hot dog. He's like, fuck out of here. Like, nah, little man. Yo, where your mom's at? Right there. Go to your mom's. Is that her grill right there? Yeah, all right, so go ahead. Like, he got food. It ain't ready yet. That's not my problem. I'm not saying in that situation, he didn't have food insecurity. He didn't have patience. You feel what I'm saying? So...
What's going on?
So
y'all are getting kids out of here for glizzies. Your mom's got glizzies over there. Go ahead.
It just wasn't ready yet. Like the grill wasn't fired up yet. But that's
so that he could have went and collected his glizzy back.
When they looked at my cousin like they wanted like smoke. I mean, obviously they knew better than to like. I mean, but the fact that
I feel like that's a very embarrassing thing for parents when their kids like go and beg
no
for food.
But it wasn't. Here's the thing: if little man was playing with like my little cousins and they eating, that's different. Mm-hmm. If the kids was playing, oh, this is like my little cousin friend, and it's different. That's hospitality.
Yeah.
But she sent them over there.
Oh, she
sent
him. Oh. If he wandered over there, that's different too.
I thought he wandered.
No. Had he wandered,
you gotta drop these details because I was like, not a little boy wandered.
That's crazy.
She sent them over.
Okay, all right. Okay, I sent it back
right?
too. Yeah.
Now, had he wandered, and like if he's wandering over and he has food insecurity, like, where's your mom? Or I don't know. Or if something like that is going on, we not cruel. We'll feed the kids.
Yeah.
And as JazzE can attest to, I feed people all the time on the street. I got no problem doing that. This is not about that. Mm-hmm. It's about entitlement to people's resources. And then, because let's say that this woman in this hypothetical, well, not this hypo, but from this viral video knows that the responsible father is going to bring that pizza pie. Then she can say, well, Jamario is going to feed all my kids, so I'm not going to bother Tarquel's dad or Bar Tim's dad. And
now she bothering all of them.
I don't know.
Like, what do you mean?
She is bothering every single one.
I don't know because the fact
what do
that
you mean okay, let's
let's clean that up because some of this language because I think it's also important to because I feel like this mother we've already attached a few characteristics to her that we don't know are accurate.
Per her own words, and first of all, she chose to put the video out. I'm exposing them.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I don't agree with the video. I thought it was tasteless, but because she actually harmed her own children in the process of doing that, trying to look right or whatever. But it's I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. You know what? I actually quit right
It's
now.
okay when P&L's right. I know it's rare that you guys
I don't think. I mean, we all agreed.
We think the video was trash. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it isn't the man's right to have to provide food for all the rest of these kids. However, I think it would have been in better taste to show up with something that the kids that all the kids
victimizing of victims.
Eat.
When will it end?
No, I'm just thinking about from the perspective of like the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, because these ain't strangers she's babysitting. These are this kids.
I do agree that the kids are the ones that suffer.
Yeah.
But I also feel like part of me wonders where are the other kids' fathers, because if her stamps haven't arrived, she should be hitting up those other gentlemen saying, hey, my stamps ain't here yet. I need a couple $2 to feed your kid.
Did she say that she did that?
No, she did not say that she did. All she said to him was, you know I ain't get my stamps yet. And he's like, okay, so why haven't you contacted your other kids' fathers? And she had no reply to that. Instead, she said, why are you coming here with one meal? I have to feed my other kids. Think about her own words. I have to feed my other kids. And she's looking at him as if it's his fucking problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. Because it's not his responsibility. Like we said, it's not his responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the kids get the short end here because their mama made the whole situation look wild. You know, now this guy has to also kind of look
decisions.
Yeah, including the picking the selection. This is what we mean by karmic. Never mind.
No. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Karmically, this is what we're talking about. This is
Speak
what we're talking about. Because not for nothing, I had a fleeting thought that was like, wouldn't you want to be able to count on one of these men at least to hold you down? Period. You know, you should sleep? You should be bringing children into the world with a man who's gonna hear that you don't have money to feed your kids and is like, bet here's food for them. You know what I'm saying? Without classifying him as some or whatever we're classifying
and
generous
I think when they were
men
together,
as.
he would do for all of the kids when they were together. And I think she felt the way. I think her part of the issue too was that because they're not together no more, he's not doing for them anymore. But it's like he doesn't have to. And that's so for me, it's the entitlement. Ugh. I agree that there is a school of thought that says, yeah, he could have, but it's the entitlement and the obligation that's annoying. Yeah. Yes, he could have brought the other kids. He probably
taking care of somebody else's kids. He done moved on. He got a new family to take care of.
I'm still curious about him doubling back, like she said that he would come spend the night. That's confusing as fuck too, sir.
Right.
You hear when I wake up in the morning, but you ain't got one bag of McDonald's. What's going on? I think that whole shit is looking a little nuts.
Why is she letting him stay there? Oh, we're back in the circle.
Okay.
So are we gonna do Ask JazzE next, or are we gonna do a say or work word?
I think woke word.
Woke word.
Yeah.
Okay. Woke word time. So let's back out the word we picked. Everybody ready?
Let's go.
Drum roll, please. Today's woke word is fiending. Everybody say fiending. So just to clarify, woke word is a section of the pod where we pay homage to vintage Brooklyn vernacular. And so today...
Sometimes we call it say word, too.
Sometimes we call it say word.
Yeah.
Same shoot! Thing. I just realized that we were using woke instead of say. So, yes, sometimes interchangeably it is also called
all good. All good. We're going to keep all that in there. No edit. We're keeping that all in there. Viral, movie.
So, fiending. Countable and uncountable. Plural for fiendings. Obsessive craving, usually for drugs or alcohol. That's the classical definition of fiending. Would anybody like to use the word fiending in a sentence? Fiending.
I'm not the sentence person. You know you're the sentence person. Why are you looking at me?
So in this context, in the sense of Brooklyn slang, fiending does not just apply to drugs and alcohol. It applies to just, compulsory kind of obsessive feelings about anything.
I'd like to try.
Would you like to try? All right, please.
So I went out to brunch the other day and I said happy birthday to this chick. And she said, thank you. And her best friend said, oh, girl, give me your cash app. And my homeboy said, damn, why you fiending?
Good one.
Thank you.
Today's Say Word was brought to you by pistachios. No. So that was good.
We're not going to do an Ask JazzE this week, right? Okay. So I'll do a Ask P&L. No Ask JazzE this week. I think we had enough conversation about dating to power us through to the next episode. New music, though. This has been a very impactful few weeks of music for me. Like, I almost feel emotional with joy about all the music. Drake dropped. Kevin Gates dropped. Chris Brown dropped.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of content out there right now.
I mean, I got through all of the albums 3 times each.
Jeez.
But my song selection is from none other than this generation's Michael Jackson, Chris Brown. Mm-hmm. It's called Sex Memories.
I haven't listened to the project yet. I will.
You're missing out. Go check that out.
Song from there.
Okay.
Go check that out.
Okay.
If you need a selection, there's no. I'm not giving you. If you need a song selection,
I have one.
You can pick Kevin Gates. No,
I can pick Kevin Gates. Yeah.
I have one.
Okay.
My song selection is Gone by Felly Vand. And the album is called Nerve. It's just a moody kind of like chilling kind of vibe. So if you guys want to hear it, it's cool.
Mm-hmm. My song is Last by Burna Boy, which is probably,
that one is
it's a good one.
That's the one with where he sampled Tony Braxton?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Bye bye yo, bye bye. That shit is hard. I heard that shit. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it is fire. It is fire.
Yes, it's a good
that
song.
shit is a hard song.
Tune,
I felt sad for him. I said, if Burna Boy can't keep his chick, if Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos can't keep a chick, of course a chick is gonna be fussing with you over some fucking McDonald's.
So wait, what happened? She not with Stefflon Don anymore? Mm-mm. Oh, when that happened? Recently?
I don't know.
Every young Nigerian woman is celebrating right now.
I didn't know that he was dating Stefflon Don, but
on the low.
For a minute too,
but not on the low.
Oh well, I'll say this, Thames. If you want a man, I know several. They will wait for you. They will wait for you.
Yo, oh my God. Listen, okay, I know we didn't have an Ask JazzE. I know we didn't, but I have to ask your opinion on this. Damn, I didn't run it by anybody in pre-production.
This is the best.
All right, bet. So yo, Young Miami was holding a sign for Diddy, right? Young Miami was holding the sign for Diddy, right? And then he got up there and only thanked Cassie and Kim Porter. And I'm just curious with the girls.
And he sang to Kim Porter.
I just want to know well, he should though. It's in memoriam essentially. But like, I just want to know what the bros and the girls think about this because
my favorite part was JT trying to get her to sit down. Like, girl.
What?
Like, she really, that's a good friend. Yeah. That's a good friend.
Like, put the sign down.
It was cute.
Side note, I saw a picture of JT the other day. I said, who is this?
She's gorgeous.
Someone said, that's a city girl. I said, that's a city girl?
She's always been very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Young Miami, too. They're very beautiful girls. They're just ghetto.
No, ghetto's fine.
Oh, okay.
In some context. But JT...
He said we actually like them ghetto.
JT's a chocolate queen.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
And she's dating some androgynous male.
What was that?
Right?
Say that again.
She's dating some androgynous
she looks
male.
Very happy with her little Uzi.
Yeah.
She cute. And then I went down this YouTube rabbit hole of like JT Throw Baby remix. I said, oh my gosh. She's talking that talk.
She's always been like the stronger lyricist to me.
No, I don't care about lyrics, but she was talking about throat babies and so, oh my gosh.
Anyway, back to Young Miami and her sign.
Yes.
It was a nice gesture. It was not the time or the place for her to be holding up a sign. But clearly she wanted to stand out. And she did just that. She stood out. So her mission accomplished.
Her mom's is cute too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of answering your question, I actually felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Because I said in the last episode, Industry Cradle Robbers, if you haven't heard it, go check that out. Available on all streaming platforms right now. There you go. But I felt like there was a power dynamic at play that she didn't understand. So even watching the interview, she looked very enamored with him, and he looked like it's Tuesday. Yeah. Right? And I felt bad for her because I feel like, I laugh and joke and all that kind of stuff, but I do want everybody who wants to be married to be married. I want everybody who wants to be in a relationship to be in one and to be happy and be fulfilled. I think it's a human right to be happy. And I felt bad for her because she probably felt like this was the one that wasn't only going to help her level up financially, but like this is a more mature dude and will help her get it right. And he's up there taking Cassie, and Cassie, man, is like, nah, dog, fuck you. Yeah. Like, Cassie may be shitting on Diddy publicly. Yeah, that's a fact. But also, people blame him for Kim Porter's death. Really? Yeah. Really? Like, the fact that he had done her wrong before and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the fact that she passed away, people are like, well, had you not done... I don't know if you can even, like,
Did she die from, like, pneumonia or something?
I think she died of something like that, like... But
Who knows? Yeah. I'm sure it's more complicated.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think for him to be, hindsight is 20/20, right? But I think for him to do all of this tribute stuff, I think it was probably cathartic for him, and he probably needed that. But I don't think he even factored in how it would impact his standing with her, and I don't think he even cared. Yeah, I think he probably felt like, I'm gonna do this for me. I'm gonna make it right with these other women. She's the soup du jour, and I don't owe her shit.
Yeah.
That's probably.
They just met. Like, he's being thanked for like a Lifetime Icon Award.
Right.
What did she do in the last couple of months that she needs to be thanked for? No shade, no.
She put him to sleep.
Disrespect.
As she says on the show, she put him to sleep.
I mean, maybe because he said period. Everybody was like, "Oh, that was his acknowledgement of her." Like, she could be going tomorrow. Not like
Exactly.
It's not. Like, he had years with these women. He didn't think J-Lo. He didn't say nothing about her. Like, it wasn't because she wasn't significant in the way that he was referring to. And I didn't think it was a bad thing that he didn't reference her, even though he did.
Also, in context, as you said, it was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah,
so it's just it's like, what has she helped him to achieve?
They're dating. Like,
yeah, I didn't think
Climax,
that he
maybe?
needed to. I didn't watch the award show,
She didn't
but
hear me.
yes, it probably is a good thing. But
I said the only thing she helped him achieve was Climax, probably. But
I mean, Diddy. This is the thing. Like it was a sad moment when I saw the pictures of her standing there and all that. Because Diddy is ancient and she's a young girl and
Twice
like
her
you said,
age.
yeah, she's enamored with him and what he could possibly do for her. And she kind of went out looking bad.
He's also showing her a new lifestyle, which you referencing them as ghetto. I thought, because I think we talked about this on the last episode, I'm like, he classing her up a little bit. Put her in nice stuff, take her to the Amalfi Coast, introduce her to things that she probably would not be open to or see otherwise, right? And that's what older men do for you, right? Was it appropriate for her to be up there with her sign? Probably not. Yeah. But like, it's growing pains. I mean, I think everybody looked at it like, oh, the city girls up. Yeah, gonna show him, and it's like, no, city girls down bad. No, city girls down bad.
Like it looked nuts. It looked nuts. And I mean, I don't know. Diddy is an anomaly. When those biopics come out, I can't wait to watch them because
when he gone.
Yeah. Well, thank you for obliging me. I just was like, I need to know what the folks think because it was crazy.
Of course. My parting words for this week, fellas, when it comes to fast food, bring fast food for your child if you can only afford to do so. But don't even tell your baby moms that you want to bring food. Say, I want to spend some time with my kid. Feed him, drop him back home. But a more important lesson, fellas, choose wisely.
Ladies, everybody choose
wisely.
Oh, you're right. It's his words. You're right.
Those 18-year contracts that you sign by, splashing raw pickle in women can cost you a lot more than 18 years of heartache and pain, man. Think about that. Be careful. Only you can prevent forest fires and your McDonald's being thrown on the fucking floor on YouTube.
You have a word?
Me? I may be dressed in 4th of July colors, but no one is celebrating America this year.
You don't have any blue on?
Blue jeans.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. It was because I had to put on a headscarf. It's not because I care about this country.
For those listening, she cares about the country. She cares. She cares about the country. She cares.
But, in spite of all that's going on that we discussed, I'm trying to make a way and focus spiritually. And I think that's what we all should do. I believe in spiritual power. Just like these Christians, you think these Christians wasn't praying for Roe v. Wade? Mm-hmm. That's prayer. Mm-hmm. That's extreme Christian prayer and plotting. Mm-hmm. So you got to talk to your spirit gods to make it right. Mm-hmm. Like whoever you worship, go holler at them, please.
Talk to them good folks. Get them on the line. I don't know what to say for my final words. I was really trying. I think I probably just echo what you're saying.
Me? Thank you.
No.
Okay.
Just that I think again, if we take a higher perspective, I feel like America's just spiritually bankrupt. We're spiritually dead. We're a country of spiritually dead people. And the folks that have enough energy to navigate this and will continue to have enough energy to navigate this are people who are spiritually abundant, who like prioritize feeding themselves. And how do you become spiritually abundant? You know, take time for breath. Take time to like work on your feelings, work on the thing, outgrow bad behaviors that don't work for you. And the more you invest in that, and none of that feels good, okay? None of that feels good. But the more you invest in that, you kind of grow tougher spiritual skin. So you can move through some of these things in a way that others can't. Like I'm not that these things don't impact me, but Roe v. Wade fell, and I kept on with my day. You know what I'm saying? Because it won't touch me. You know what I mean? I don't live a life where it will touch me. So, I guess just to echo JazzE's sentiment, like whoever your belief system is founded on, or whoever you seek strength from, I encourage you to build a practice. Like you have a schedule to work out and a schedule to go to work, you need a schedule in order to keep your spirits high. So just do that. Because it's scary hours outside.
That is a factory.
Yeah.
So, folks, this will be up on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. We're on TikTok now, too. Follow us on TikTok. That's what the youngs are doing.
We not young.
Speak for yourself.
I don't know what's going on that TikTok, but y'all come tell me.
Yo, TikTok, I'm not on TikTok, but the amount of people who are like, yo, get on TikTok, the algorithm is you. I'm like, me?
Over and out.
No matter where we face, we must face the moment of truth, baby.